Hello everyone, I am Ms.Vaishnvi Vetal from Department of Biotechnology, Changu Kana Thakur College of Arts, Commerce and Science. Today I would like to introduce you with the topic that is biofuels. So, before moving to biofuels, first I would like you to know what is biomass. So, by the word you can see bio, it is related to living things and mass is related to matter. So, biomass is basically referred to living or recently dead organic materials including plants, trees, algae and animal waste. Now, what is biomass energy? So by the energy, you can refer that it is an energy produced by organic matter. So biomass energy is a renewable source derived from organic matter. It is converted into energy sources like electricity, heat or biofuels. Biomass is considered carbon neutral because it releases only carbon that plants absorb during their growth, creating a balanced carbon cycle. Whereas if you know about biofuels or other, sorry, normal fuels or other energy sources, they mostly release greenhouse gases that kind of be harmful. So next we will see what are the sources of biomass. So there are different sources that can be used to produce biomass energy. Those are like agricultural crop residues, which includes the leftover part of the agriculture after utilizing their grains, or like if you consider an example of sugarcane, the basage is known as agricultural residues. Then comes sewage, whatever the sewage waste, organic matter, we can use it for production of biofuels. Then municipal solid waste, again the wet waste which we collect from municipal corporations or solid waste, that we can use for converting it into bioenergy. Then animal residues, that is manure, can be utilized for production of biomass energy. Again, industrial residues like the industries, those are related to food or agricultural products. The waste product that is been released by such industries, the residues can be utilized for biomass energy production. Again, forestry, crops and residues like the forest waste or the wood products can be used for biomass energy production. So we will come to our topic, that is biofuels. What are biofuels? Biofuels are renewable energy sources derived from biomass. They serve as alternative to to fossil fuels, primarily for transportation, with common types being ethanol and biodiesel. Biofuels are considered cleaner and more sustainable than fossil fuels. So as you know, the fossil fuels, how are they extracted? They are extracted from fossils. And for formation of fossil, it takes thousands of years. And there are very much chances that the fossils might get depleted in coming years. So an alternative to the fossil fuel is a biofuel. So there are different types of biofuels. We will see one by one. First is ethanol. So ethanol production. What is ethanol? Ethanol is an alcoholic product. We can obtain ethanol from organic matter. So ethanol is a renewable fuel made from plant-based materials like agricultural waste through the process of fermentation. So for production of ethanol, we require our raw material, that is feedstock. Now what will come in feedstock? It must be sugary or starchy crops, which may include sugarcane, corn or wheat. Why we require sugar? Because ethanol is an alcohol and during fermentation, microbes require sugar to convert the sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. The organism, if you see, we mainly use yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, also known as baker's yeast. It is an organism which is widely used for ethanol production as it has capacity to convert sugars into ethanol. So we will see steps of production of ethanol. So there are several steps. First one is pre-treatment. This pre-treatment step is not compulsory in everywhere, but if the your raw material is cellulosic, then we require pre-treatment, that can be heating or grinding of your matter. Then comes hydrolysis. So if you have seen what was our feedstock, it was crops, related to crops. We can't directly leave the crops for fermentation. So before, because our crops, they contain starch and cellulose, whereas a microorganism, it can't digest or break down those complex sugars. So before fermentation, we need to hydrolyze those complex sugar into simple sugars. Okay, then comes fermentation. So fermentation is a process in which the simple sugars in presence of microorganisms are converted to ethanol and carbon dioxide. Once ethanol is being produced, it is not in pure form. So to convert that ethanol into pure form, we need to follow the process, that is distillation. By distillation process, we evaporate our ethanol, and that evaporated distilled ethanol is being collected, which is in pure form. And the last step is dehydration. So the leftover water residues which are present in our ethanol also need to be removed. By dehydration process, we remove the extra water residues that are present in our ethanol and collect the pure form of ethanol. So this is the flow chart, diagrammatic representation of production of ethanol. So you can see the crops or a waste, agricultural waste, we have collected, left it for fermentation, and after fermentation, as we all know, the product is ethanol and carbon dioxide. So that ethanol is further transferred for purification, and by purification we get the pure form of ethanol. So next step you can see is blending. What exactly is blending? So ethanol can't be directly used as a fuel source because our vehicles are not made. So the vehicles that were before, like in 2010, they don't have the capacity to hold the ethanol. They only have the capacity for like 15% ethanol, and some in between like 2010 to 20 they have for approximately 25%. But now new vehicles, they have capacity till 85% to accept the ethanol. So in direct form, we can't give ethanol, use ethanol as fuels. So we need to blend it with gasoline. What is gasoline? That is a petrol. So this blending step is very important for production of ethanol fuel. And after blending, we can transport it and use as fuel. So what are exactly the benefits of ethanol? By using ethanol, we can improve combustion efficiency, increase the octane of gasoline, and lower carbon monoxide and other smoke causing emissions. It also helps to reduce dependency on imported oil. There are several challenges also which come by ethanol production, that is food and fuel debate. So if we go for ethanol production on excessive scale, there might be chances that the farmers might stop to cultivate the crops for food purpose and will start cultivating the crops only for fuel purpose. So it might be a debate whether the food production is being hampered by the fuel production. Again, for the production of ethanol, we require a land and water, more water usage, plus the density of the ethanol or is low as compared to gasoline. So these are the challenges which need to be worked out, whereas benefits are very much good as compared to your traditional fuels. Next one is microbial hydrogen production. Now, microbial hydrogen production, we use microorganisms to convert organic matter or water into hydrogen gases. So why this microbial hydrogen production can be used? That is why we can use hydrogen as a source of fuel, because hydrogen, when released into environment, it gets converted into water. That is, it combines with oxygen to form water. So, and water is not at all harmful for us. So we can use hydrogen as an alternative source of fuels, and microbial hydrogen production is a good source. So there are different types of microbial hydrogen production. Here we can see how we can produce biohydrogen, that is by it can be light independent or light dependent. By light independent, what you understand is it does not require any kind of light, that is it requires a dark atmosphere. So by light independent, there are two types of production, that is dark fermentation. In dark fermentation, they use microbes like mesophils and thermophils to convert the organic matter into your biohydrogen without using any light. And then comes microbial electrohydrogenesis cell, where bacteria use electrical energy to convert the organic matter into hydrogen, and here again the process is in dark. Then comes light dependent. By the word light dependent, you understand what exactly it is. That is, microbes require light as a source of energy. So there are two types of light dependent reaction, that is photofermentation and biophotolysis. In photofermentation, what happens is purple non-sulfur bacteria as well as purple sulfur bacteria, they convert organic acids to organic biohydrogen in presence of light. In biophotolysis, here microorganisms don't use any kind of organic matter, they convert water directly into hydrogen atoms by use of light. So what are the benefits of microbial hydrogen production? It is sustainable and it is a form of clean energy storage. As I have told you, hydrogen, when mixed or released in air, it mixes with oxygen and forms water. The challenges again are there is very low yield and the efficiency of hydrogen, microbial hydrogen, and we might require several steps of genetic engineering to optimize the bioreactors. Next comes biodiesel. Biodiesel is again a form of biofuel. It is a renewable, biodegradable fuel produced from vegetable oils, animal fats, or used cooking oil through a process called transesterification. So what is basically a biodiesel? It is methyl esters, and these methyl esters are formed by transesterification process. Here we are using a raw material, that is oils or fats. So it is a cleaner burning substitute for petroleum diesel that can be used in most diesel engines with little or no modification. Sources can be soybean oil, palm oil, rapeseed oil, or algae. All these oil plants or animal fats can be utilized for production of biodiesels. So here is again the process of production of biodiesel. So if you see, oil, that is our vegetable oils, is been refined first, and after refining it is led for transesterification process. In transesterification process, methanol and catalyst are being added for esterification, and after addition of methanol and catalyst we will get two separate products, that is FAME, which means methyl esters, and glycerols. What we utilize from this is methyl esters as your biodiesel. So this FAME will be collected and will be led to the process, that is washing, and after that filtration will be done and your biodiesel is ready for use as biofuels. So what are the benefits of biodiesel? It can be used in existing diesel engines. It is biodegradable, lower emissions. Again, the challenges might be with food crops, because excessive use of food crops might lead for food scarcity in our nation. Again, deforestation concerns are there because palm oil is used, and higher gel point, that is the gelling, solidifying of the biodiesel might happen where the temperature is low. So here were the three examples of biofuels. Next we will see is petrocrops. Till now we have seen what biofuels was there and what are common types of biofuels that are recently used. Now we will see petrocrops. By the name you might understand petro means petroleum and crop means corporation, that is industry. There are also other words like petro crop. So this crop is related to the crops which are used in petroleum industries, and petrocorp is corporation, that are industries or petroleum industries that are trying to bring new innovative idea, that is biofuel in their petroleum sector. So petrocorp is referred to several different entities, most commonly a group of companies with petrocorp in their name, and this has been supported as India's biofuel sector is growing rapidly due to different government initiatives. Government is supporting the biofuel production. We will see what are different initiatives our Indian government has taken. So the first one is ethanol blending program. This program, central to India's strategy, aimed to achieve 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025, and India achieved 19.6% blending in Jan 2025, saving significant foreign exchange. Nowadays, even you can also see ethanol is blended with petrol. It is due to this policy, and the efficiency is being tested on currently used vehicles as well as incoming new vehicles, and it is working in a very good condition, which is saving our foreign import of petrol. Then comes National Policy of Biofuels 2018. This policy encouraged the use of non-food feedstocks such as crop residues, municipal solid waste, and forest waste to produce biofuels. Like it is based on using the waste to produce our product, that is biofuel. Then comes National Bioenergy Mission, launched by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. This mission provides financial initiatives and regulatory support to biofuel manufacturers. So it is a kind of policy where the any kind of startup is being financially supported with our Indian government. Then comes Global Fuel Alliance. Even not only on Indian level or national level, on world level, they are trying to convert into biofuel. So India has launched the alliance in 2023 with other nations to promote biofuel development globally. So what are basically advantages of biofuels? It will reduce the import dependency. That is, till now our country was dependent on other nation for maximum of the petrol or diesel, but by utilization of biofuels we can reduce that dependency on other nations. Then lower emission of greenhouse gases, where because biofuels mostly release carbon dioxide that is utilized by plants. Then rural development, we can set up rural projects for production of biofuels, and our waste product are again converted to wealth, that is waste to wealth, by utilizing waste product for production of biofuel. There are some few challenges with the production of biofuels, like feedstock availability, because the feedstock availability might vary according to the climatic conditions, and also the food is required by humans and other animals, so it might vary, and that's why it can also lead to supply chain gaps, because if the feedstock availability is not there, then there might be reduction in supply. As well as technology and cost for production of biofuels is also a challenge. So this is all about biofuels. Thank you.